My name is Josue Ariza. I have been attending Hope Point Church for about 15 months now. I grew up in a Christian household, and at around the age of 20, I moved out of my parents' house. I purchased my own place. For a 20-year-old, it was going pretty well for me. Once I moved out, I slowly and unfortunately little by little started to drift away from my conviction that I had with God. I only had the house for about 8 months, and this opportunity came up to sell it again, so I sold it and I went back to my parents' house. Then unfortunately I picked up smoking and drinking, and I was really hiding it from my parents, just hanging out with friends, staying at friends' houses. After abusing it for quite a while, I had a realization that I wasn't living the life I was supposed to be living, and I wasn't pleasing God. So there came a point in my life where I was like, you know what, I really have to stop this. I have to get over this. The devil tried to tell me that I'm sad, I'm lonely, I'm an addict, and none of that's true. June 11th, on the way home of 2022, I fell asleep behind the wheel. And I went off the road, had about 60, 70 miles an hour, and I hit this concrete ramp. My car caught like 10 feet in the air, and the right side of my car went completely into a tree. Basically, my car wrapped around a tree. I was put into a medically induced coma because I sustained quite a few injuries, some broken ribs, punctured lungs, and the list goes on and on. But the biggest thing that happened was from the impact of the car, my head had literally but internally fallen off of my shoulders. So the first thing that I had noticed after waking up, after they did all their tests and stuff, was the doctor or looking at my dad and telling him, "Sir, your son's going to die, so you have to prepare yourself." And so what I remember was the fear of hearing the doctors almost every single day be sure that I was gonna die. The morning of my surgery, it was like 6 o'clock in the morning. I remember just staring at all the lights when I was being taken down the hallway, and the doctor just telling me like, "Okay, we're about to get there." And finally we get there. And before they put me under, the doctor looks at me and he asks, "What's your last wish?" It's a pretty scary feeling. You know, it's pretty scary to think that, okay, once I go under, I may not come back. So all I asked was if we could all just pray. And at that moment, the doctors did not hesitate at all. They all grabbed hands. They all surrounded my bed. I wasn't surrounded by doctors. I wasn't surrounded by medical professionals. I was surrounded by what I believe is angels that God had sent in that room to watch over me. You know, for the doctors to be more than 50% sure that I was gonna die, and for me to be able to wake up after that accident, it's not science. But I know that the reason why I can sit here today is because God has a plan for me. Right after the accident happened, people would come visit me, and people from my parents' church, they'd be like, "You have to go back to church." It was a constant battle, because I kept thinking, okay, no, you're right. I have to go to church. God saved me, so I have to. But then there's one night I prayed, and I said, "Lord, I don't want it to be a have to. I want it to be a want to." And it's been over a year, and it hasn't been easy. But what I can say now is that I'm finally free to say that I'm not captive to what this world has to offer me, what this world has offered me. God is always there. He's omnipresent. He's just always there. And all it takes is for me, for us, to just come as we are to him. That's all he ever wants from us. He knows we're not perfect. He understands that the devil is out there and that it's hard sometimes. But grabbing onto the word is probably the best thing that I've ever done, and the best thing that you can ever do. What I can say is I am very grateful for his patience. Understand he is patient, but just don't wait to almost have to die to be able to want to find him again. My name is Josue Ariza, and this is my God story.